All right, 1 minute of showtime. Hold on 1 second. Welcome to another edition of DMV Sports Show. I can't get the words out. Sorry, I apologize. DMV Sports Show. I'm your host, Rasul McGee. It's Saturday. To hear the sports that you want to hear on your weekend. We got a lineup, as we always say on the DMV Sports Show, that you wouldn't believe. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders beating Detroit Lions with a score of 45-31 and taking on their next opponent, the arch rival nemesis, the Philadelphia Eagles. And also, we're going to discuss the Washington Wizards, the Washington Capitals. I apologize, I can't get the words out today. Maryland Terrapins and DC Defenders as well. We're going to get to that in a minute. And we're going to talk about most likely Maryland Terrapins men's and women division of basketball and questions from you guys. Yes, you, the fans, and the panel. You know, we're going to talk about that in a minute. So sit back, relax, kick off the shoes. Here's one of the sports news that it won't make you snooze. It won't. I just won't. I won't let it. Anyway, with that being said, let's start the show. So the Washington Commanders went to Detroit to face the number 1 ranked offense, and they didn't disappoint. It was a lot of hype. It was a lot, you know. So the thing about it is, we were scared, but we persevered, you know. And once we persevered, we conquered. But Scary Terry came on, and we actually lit it up along with JD5, because JD5 was actually the best quarterback we got. We got Dami Brown, you know, Zach Ertz, and then we have Eckler, we have Brian Robinson Jr., and they just didn't disappoint. That was just like music and poetry. Actually, it was just like amazing, because, you know, the first time in so many years we made it into the conference. Now we're in the division championship for the very first time since 1991. Folks, when I tell you that this is by far the most excitement that DMV and the Commander fans have ever seen, they're not lying, because the city is on fire now. If they win against the arch nemesis, Philadelphia Eagles, in this division on Sunday at 3 p.m., check out local listings, I guarantee you DMV, that's Maryland, DC, and Virginia, is going to finally have that go-go party that you see every time when you go into the stadium. Every time you see him go into that stadium, DMV is actually 1,000% on fire. Make sure that you check your local listings on Sunday at 3 p.m. Make sure you watch the game. Make sure you DVR that, because once you DVR that, you're going to be 1,000% thanking me. You know, and once you do that, you're going to understand, yo, Rasul, actually was telling me the truth. Of course, that's what I do. That's what I do. I tell you the truth, and then I let you go, and I send you back in the world. I like, there's the truth. Go do something, you know. But that game was one of the most remarkable thing you could see. And you know that sound that you just heard, that sound was the happiness that came out of those type of individuals. The sound that you heard, you know, people can't contain themselves like that because they don't have no training. You know, that's basically what you hear. Game, I mean, the first quarter was a little bit of rocky. We knew what we were expecting against the Detroit Lions. We knew that we're going to get a dose of the running. We got to fix the running because we're not just going against Detroit. Detroit had the #1 offensive attack, and we took care of them. Yeah, he ran for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns, but that's just 105. Saquon Barkley is a problem. Saquon is a heart attack waiting to happen. But the meeting, the conference, press conference that Joe Witt had was 1,000% good. And he literally silenced my concern. And what he said was, and I quote, "We're going to hit him hard if he's a running back. And you have to press Saquon. You can't just give him a lane and then meet him at the lane. No, that's not going to happen. You meet him at the lane, he's going to laterally move and juke and move up and run for a touchdown. You got to meet him in the lane. And then when he runs to the edge, you got to run to the edge with him." Now I'm calm because Joe Witt in the beginning wasn't too sure because we didn't have the personnel. Now he's comfortable with the personnel. The most important thing you have to understand when running or looking at a defense such as this, and this is his words, and I literally like what he's saying. He said 2 things. He said, 1, if Jalen Hurts becomes a running back, we're going to hit him hard like a running back. I'm like, whoa. I'm liking this guy a little bit too much. I think either he's drinking or I'm drinking for him. I heard the same thing. And I'm like, oh my God. What? And then he goes and says this: we don't run a traditional 4-3. We run a conservative mesh of everything. I'm like, I never heard that before, a mesh. So I looked it up and I'm like, oh, I love this mesh. I love this mesh. I love it because it's a converting 4-3 into a 3-4 with a little bit of not quarters. What is it called? Is it nickel? No. It's a 4-3 with a little bit of 3-4 mixed into it, but it's a more gap control type of thing. So I'm thinking, okay, so how's he doing it? And I couldn't pick it up online. So the concept is that it's a if you ever had like a snowball, you make a snowball and you make it round. But if the condition of the snowball is falling apart, there's no that the cold doesn't actually stick, right? But this sticks. It doesn't fall apart when you make a snowball. It's completely round. So right now he's trying to make a balance of the two so you could play gap control. So right now the team is not playing more of gap control. They're playing more of a base of a 3-4, which I get. But if you understand the mesh, it's like he's trying to force the gap control a little bit better to stop Saquon for getting the first down. So that's a little bit better than I expected, you know. And I understand, you know, I understand that to beat Saquon and the Eagles, you have to get to Jalen Hurts. Now, here's another problem that we're facing. Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts has a knee brace. Jalen Hurts is in the pocket he got Lane Johnson back. So Lane Johnson is a primary holder of the pocket. We lost Sam Cosmi for the year. He was the primary center, keeping the nucleus together, which is a problem. So Tyler Badass, that's his name, folks. Just don't send me any hate mail. I know this is a family show, but that's his last name. So he's like, they moved him around and put him in the middle, and then we got the reserves back. Let me read you the injury report, because the injury report says a lot. And I wish the Eagles had a lot of injuries on it, but that the tables have switched a little bit. But I'm going to give the injury report of the Commanders and the Eagles. And what I don't like. Okay, so Eagles say that Jalen Hurts is ready to go. Dallas Goedert will play in the game. 3 of the Commanders players are questionable. I mean, 3 versus 2, I'll take it. And I'm not wishing anybody I'm not wishing anybody hurt on the Commanders list. I just feel like to have a balance of who's on there and who they got, it should be a good fine mixture. But the guy, what's that guy's name? I forgot his name, but he plays on the Kansas City Chiefs. His brother comes on the podcast and goes, the Eagles have Travis Kelce, that's his name. And then his brother Kelce, I think it's John or Jay, whatever his name is. I know it begins with the letter J. Jay Kelce goes on the podcast that he's literally on. And shout out to Anthony, what's his name? Armstrong. Anthony Armstrong. He's created a podcast too, and now he's doing radio because he was the first person on my show. That's my bud right there. I know his wife. I know him, and he's doing well. Shout out to him. He actually is doing well. And what he said was that the Commanders don't have good players like the Eagles do. So the Eagles are going to win. So I don't believe that. I believe that they've been playing lights out. So I don't think whatever he's saying is true and factual. I think he's just going off because that's the team he likes so much. So I get that. I get that a lot. I mean, he's going to say whatever to make him feel better, but the actuality is we're on a hot streak. Ever since our last games, I think our last 3 games, we've been on fire. So, I mean, we beat the number 1 team in the NFL, Detroit Lions. They had a running back tandem of Sonic and Knuckles. and then we beat their wide receiver, Satan Brown. Nobody has done that but us. We beat them after they beat the Vikings, who had a 15-game winning streak. 15. And they took out them, and we took out them. And now we're 4-0 in the playoffs against the Lions. Now we take on the Eagles in Philadelphia, and we are a road team. We're a road team doing this. This is insane. This is insane. Hold on. I'm trying to get the injury report right now. Let me go ahead.
Oh, everybody. Eric said he's on the road to PA. Tell everybody hi.
That's what's up. Eric is going to Philly, folks. He's going to Philly to be in that game.
That's right. Look, y'all be safe in Philly, y'all.
Man, yeah, tell Eric be safe out there, because Philly ain't no place to be being a commander. Tell him to tell Eric when he gets to the stadium, tell everybody he's a Ram fan so they can be happy. And then reveal when the Commanders win. Tell him when the Commanders win. Just say he converted himself to a commander.
Change your clothes in the car.
Right, exactly. No, switch hats. Switch hats. Luckily, I have a whole wardrobe in my trunk. I got this Rams hat on. Yeah, good old fat. I'm glad y'all beat me. Yes, I'm glad. Yes. But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Being in the bird cage in Philly, they're gonna do whatever it takes. I mean, yeah, they beat us in the regular season. But that's the regular season. This is a playoff game, a whole different magnitude. Yeah, we went there. Yeah, I mean, we got
undefeated. We was undefeated against Detroit in the playoffs, and guess what? We was undefeated against Philly in the playoffs. We won the 0 championship games against Philly, y'all.
Right.
If guys look at that 1991 season.
It's one of those greatest achievements.
They want it really bad, and we want it really bad.
It's either win or lose. That's it.
Yep.
We're definitely gonna win. I know. I have this feeling because we're the best. We're the best road team. We were underdogs when we beat the Buccaneers. We were underdogs when we beat the Lions. So I have no problem being underdogs, because they're gonna keep dogging us until we win. Right?
Steve Davidson played with all of them. Come on, man. We got to play with all of them.
Good day.
Yeah, we all know that's Miriam. She came back after her Campbell suit hiatus. So that put her to sleep a whole hour and a half. She just woke up and like, oh my gosh, the talk show's on. I got to come in. So don't worry about that. She's not right in her right mind right now until she finished that Campbell soup in the bowl. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, she don't know what we're talking about, because she was asleep the whole entire time the game was on. So if you look at where we're getting at right now, we were underdogs for 3 straight games. You know what? Let's be real with it. We were underdogs when the Falcons was there. We were underdogs when Dallas came about. We were underdogs the week of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because they beat us before and they're in their offense. Now that we got 2 additional new CBs, such as LaShawn Lattimore, and now Mike Sinistril has now arisen as the number 1 in INT pick six tracker we're good. Now they got to figure out how to use Jimmy Chin, and they got to figure out how to use the edge rush more effectively, because Armstrong and Holmes are the only two that can actually rush the passer. Now, Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne hasn't really been stopping the run when Saquon Barkley first originated until we got, at home where we took it to them. They were more shocked that this happened. So when they became one-dimensional, when Jayden got hurt, it was more apparent that, hey, this is bad. We're going to lose this game. And what I find funny is during that game, the wide receiver Brown kept saying, it's either us or them. This is the moment. You do it. And then they lost, and then they hopped back Philly and looked down. And then what I found out is that Brown said to Jaylen, we'll meet you in the playoffs. I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
And look where we are right now in the playoffs, and we're going against them at home. So what we got to do now is beat them. And we're not going to just beat the brakes off them. We're going to win by 3, I believe. So let me go to the panel. I know we got a panel because, they commented just earlier. You heard them, Coach and Big Steve. And Eric, he's on his way to Philly to watch the game, be in that cold, frigid stadium with all them bird droppings. Don't worry.
How cold it is there?
Don't. It's only like in the at night. It's probably gonna be like in the 20s, but I don't think it's gonna snow. I think it's about like late 20s, like 28, 29, maybe 30. No, they said 46, so it's probably like in the late 40s. But the problem is, it's the wind factor, especially being so high in Philly. It's gonna feel like it's 28. So he's probably gonna. I hope he got middle seats. And I hope and pray that he switched hats during and after the commercial breaks,
Yeah, he's got to be safe.
Yeah, because I don't want no bird. And then we got I got to address this, man. And then we got the man of the hour. He's the co-host of the Enhanced Sports Show, none other than Louis Tenor. Just walked in. What's up, Lou? You're welcome, man. We were just talking about the game against. Yes, we got to talk about that too. We got to talk about his very own head coach was added today, the man of the hour. How do you feel about Brian Schottenheimer?
First year head coach, you don't know what to expect that. It's got a lot to live up to, from his dad.
Right.
So that's, don't worry about,
But your whole reaction was, That's not how I wanted you to react. Why you go, at the Brian Schottenheimer? What's going on, man?
Well, I get a little skeptic with first-year head coaches, especially if they had no coaching experience.
Well, his dad was Marty Schottenheimer, who was a former commander from Kansas City Chiefs. Well, who else was Browns and some other the Ravens, not the Ravens. What was it?
The 2 Brown championship games that he lost in the last second.
Denver.
Both of them in the last second.
Yeah, so Denver. It was Denver, Kansas City, and it was Browns, and then it was us.
The Raiders.
Raiders. Was it Raiders? I don't think it was Raiders.
Raiders. Yeah, I remember he was the coach of Cleveland when they played the Raiders. When they did, remember he threw that pass. And in fact, Mark Oldley, former commander, was Cleveland Brown kickers, was Schottenheimer was the coach.
Huh, that's strange. I never thought he was a Raider coach. Well, I mean, that's 5. So basically, we were the last.
Not Raider coach. He was Cleveland coach when they lost to the Raiders. And then remember they lost to Denver twice.
No, I know that. I was talking about coaching wise, who he was coaching. But in my,
that's why the Raiders got a new coach. Pete Carroll.
Yeah, Pete Carroll. Well, that was because Brady is he's the co-signer of the Las Vegas Raiders, so he had a handing of signing Pete Carroll to be a Raider. So
They don't give Russell Wilson what?
No, they're not going to get Russell Wilson. No. They
Yes,
build
they
it.
are.
No, they're
Yes, they
not.
are.
No,
They're
they're
gonna
not.
get him on what you call them. They're gonna get one of the two Pittsburgh quarterbacks, and I think Pittsburgh gonna keep the young guy.
No, the Raiders,
I think they're gonna keep Fields.
the Steelers are going to keep Russell Wilson.
Hurry.
They're going to go after the quarterback in the draft. They're going to build up. They're not going to go after Russell Wilson. They're going to, because, I think Mike Toms saw some little, good in him in the last of the years because they were leading in the playoffs. I think they're going to stick with him. I think what the Raiders going to do, the Raiders are going to build the defense first in the draft, then go after their quarterback, and then what they're going to do is they're going to
they need wide receivers because either we're having to vote for them.
Well, if you look in the free agency, the free agency has a lot of wide receivers they can build up. The problem is Pete Carroll has a very different style of offense. Now, Pete Carroll might go for USC quarterbacks. He might go for the quarterback in the draft. He might go for the quarterback that's probably in Seattle right now. He's not going to go. Here's the thing. He's not going over Geno Smith. He's not going to go for Geno Smith. He's probably going to go for Sam. He's probably going to have to Sam Howell. I believe Sam Howell might be his first choice. He might go for Drake May, and build Drake May because. I mean, those things. Hold on. I know. Hold on. We're just going around the league. We haven't really scratched the surface of the Cowboys yet, because I want to hear what Lou had to say about his head coach, which he went which means that he's not too excited. So we got to figure out what would make him happy during this day of rebuilding. So let's ask Lou.
He lost his defensive back coach too.
Oh,
he's gone to Chicago.
Oh, that's true. Yep. Lou, how did you feel about losing your defensive back head coach?
Yeah, well, he didn't do much of a good job of it anyway. So, the Cowboys need a whole overhaul. Get with the new quarterback and new defensive coach. We had to start from scratch all over again. So
yes.
I'm not shocked at all.
So that's a rebuilding year this year for Dallas and the Giants.
That word.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Not a rebuilding year, but it's more of a reconstruction.
No. I'll accept it. I just don't like it.
Running back here.
We'll just say
second receiver, defensive end.
So we'll just say reconstruction year. We'll just say that. Well, I gotta upgrade it. I don't want rebuilding. He said, "Yeah, you can't do that." I'll accept it, but I don't like it. So I just want to make sure you're comfortable when I say reconstruction instead of the river.
I just always thought it was like a dirty word, like rebuild, redo. It sounds like like a broken team, which is really not. I mean, they didn't do so well, but people think, well, you have to do this and that. No. So I just thought it was like a taboo word in the style thing.
I get it completely. I understand completely. So that goes back. Let's go further into it. So what about Dak? Dak is recently a $200 million quarterback. What do you do with him? Do you keep him or restructure his contract or just fire him all the way altogether?
I say restructure. $200 million is too much.
Okay, so that's much. So,
especially with the way it's been this year, if you have a performance like that, you're not going to be worth $200 million. You may need half of that. So, I think you better restructure it.
So, what about do you restructure CeeDee Lamb's contract and Dak, or do you just do Dak all by himself?
Just Dak by himself.
Because Lamb ain't gonna do his.
Don't you think CeeDee Lamb is good?
Yeah, he's going to keep the contract. And as far as Dak is concerned, Dak's contract is almost guaranteed too. So you got those two, and then don't forget, Parsons is the biggest piece of the Cowboy prize.
But wait, that's a good point.
He's going to be the Parsons contract.
But that's a good point. So what about Parsons? Because Parsons, he's going to need a big payday. And now I don't think he's going to stay with the Cowboys if he doesn't get the money that he got Dak or CeeDee Lamb. So what happens to Parsons? Lou, what are your thoughts on that?
Parsons is another one that will do potential this year.
Tell the owner to stick his hand in the pocket, man.
Yeah. You have to.
I think the only he's going to pay out. Everybody else going to be free agents. There's a lot of receivers. Like, Vontae Adams, somebody he want to be a commander. Vontae Adams, you're too old. You don't need to be a commander.
No, he doesn't need to be the commander because commanders.
That's like what they don't old do. We need new places.
We definitely need to restructure defense first. We got offensive weapons. We need to bolster up. Well, that can be made off season. Right now, we're focusing on the Dallas and the Giants, and around the league until we come back and revisit the game. The Giants are going to be feeling down because they believe they found their quarterback in Drew Luck. Drew Luck put up some really good numbers. I'm not going to lie. But is he the quarterback of the Giants? Is he the quarterback of the future?
They didn't give him you know what? They didn't give him a chance when he played. He played pretty good.
He did. He actually put up 45 points.
I think they're going to keep him.
Yeah, he did.
I think they're going to get another wide receiver for Dave. We signed Neighbor. They're going to get a running back. And they also this shot. They got to refix the whole offensive line.
I believe.
Look at the Commanders. I'm going to use Commanders as example. When was the last the Commanders? Remember, they went through 17 games. You know how many holes they had in 17 games?
Yeah.
Four.
Now, if we win, we beat Philadelphia.
Go ahead, Coach. I'm listening. Hold on, Steve. Let Coach finish. Yo, you could tell Big Steve is like psyched up right now. He's real psyched up. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, we beat the Eagles. We're going to clip their wings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to send them home.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to say this. You're not going to want to tear up our defense after that.
No. And here's where I think Coach Witt should have improved the defense before the season started. If he looked at the defense and said, hey, listen, we need edge rushers. We can't do anything without them. He would have did that. But then he looked at the personnel and said, we're good. I believe by the end of the first, second, and third round, we will have built up our defense to the point where it's top notch. That we'll have pass rushers, pass defenders, run blockers, and the concept of everything. We will have 10 times better defense than what we had during the playoffs. Now, offensively, some of the players that are there are not going to be there next year. Luke McCaffrey, he's gonna go. He's not going to be with us. Oshie, the KJ Oshie, who was a Patriot, he's not going to be there. The guy, what's his name? St. Jude, he's going to walk because he's not like. Yeah, so he's going to walk. And then you got Lattimore's going to be there, and then you're going to have Percy. Percy, I love Percy Butler. He's a free safety, but he's going to walk too. I think, the thing about us is, improving our defense and keeping the nucleus there is not going to happen because the way the NFL is structured, you gotta let go of people that wants to go, right? You can't force somebody there unless you give them a incentive that
Even when you got a winning team.
Well, being on a winning team, you're not going to have the same. Well, look at let's put the Kansas City Chiefs in that whole box.
And that's what happened to the Texans. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you,
yeah. So the Texans.
that is not good.
Well, the Texans and the Chiefs, they literally had a really good defense, and then when they won I think their second Super Bowl, they let majority of the offensive line win, right? And they haven't really been.
Yeah.
This is why I feel like the Chiefs are not really that good, because they just pace everybody there. Is like stay there until I get back. You know how you just put the drywall up, the drywall paper, and you glue it well, and then you're saying stay there, and then you walk away and it starts coming down. But then you're like, you have to run into the wall and trying to push it up there, that's the Kansas City Chiefs. The offensive line is paced there until Patrick Mahomes throw the ball. If you holding the ball, he's like, okay, they're gonna get me, they're gonna get me, But if you look at the defense wise, the defense is just the same. Steve Spagnuolo, who's the defensive head coach there, who used to be a Giants head coach, who used to be the defensive head coach of the Giants, he's been everywhere, right? I think he lost his mojo, because that defense that's been on that team, it doesn't look like a defense that's a Super Bowl contending team. I think he's losing his edge. He still wants to be a head coach. That's fine. But I guarantee you, that defense right there is horrible. It's horrible. So, I know we can't stop the run, but you know what? They can't stop the pass. They only have one rusher, and that rusher is well known. One DE that actually does the pass rush. Everybody else just looking at the ball like, look, the ball is gone. Oh, wow, look, it's in the sky. So I'm telling you right now, there's a chance
you gotta keep your eyes on the ball.
Exactly. So I think you could beat Kansas City, right? Because Kansas City beats themselves a majority of the time that they can throw. Patrick Mahomes.
I'm gonna say the referee and the way they are with Kansas City. Oh man.
That's why I like what Stephen A. Smith said. He said that, hey, listen, from what I've seen over the past six games, now 7, Jayden Daniels might win the Super Bowl, and this young man can do it. He might beat Patrick Mahomes. And the way I seen it is based off what I seen from the Kansas City Chiefs. If the Bills beat Kansas City, it'll be the rematch of 1992 in Minnesota.
1991?
Well, yeah,
91, excuse me. 1991 in Minnesota. And where we beat the crap out of the Bills with Thurgood and Jim Kelly, we took it to them. But this is now mobile quarterback versus mobile quarterback in the running game. And we played the Bills, and we got slob kicked in the face.
Yep.
And they literally...
So you never underestimate whoever the opposing team is.
We
I
just...
don't care who it is.
We just now figure out who we are as a football team. We're dangerous. But the only problem is the defensive wise, we have problems. We have the number 18th ranked defense in the league.
Good morning, football.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about ready to go through my TV set.
I believe you. Trust me.
I'm like, y'all are cutting us down like we're what we used to be.
No,
got a lot of freaking nerve, man.
You know what, Coach? I'm glad you brought that up too. Check this out. Each sports news outlet are designed to go over the nuances of the game because they don't want to be signaled out as the favorites between either or team because they don't want to alienate the team. They don't want to alienate who's going to be who's the more dominant. They want to sit there and go, well, you know what? This team is not stronger than this team. This team is not stronger than this team. This team doesn't have a really good quarterback. This one does. They don't want to do that. What they want to do is signally point out the pros and cons of everything because they don't want to be dominant. So what does that mean? That means it's like I call this the Dallas Cowboy effect. Sorry, Lou. This is what I called it. And this is why. Because when you're
You're not being on him, Luke.
No, I'm not being on Lou. I just point. I know. But if you look how Jerry Jones does ESPN, they talk about Dallas all the time. 24/7, 9 days a week, and they keep saying Dallas is going to win the Super Bowl. You just watch. And then the next day, Dallas is going to go to the playoffs. You just watch. And then the third day, Dallas is going to be 100% the NFC champion. You just watch. But they forget all the other football plays. And then that's what...
One commentator that I can say that takes up for Washington regardless.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And he's the guy that does the... He's the guy with the glasses, and he lives in DC. I know what you're talking about. And the thing about I think it's Chris Van Pelt. That's his name. Chris Van Pelt. He's actually 100% the best. Him and Chris Warborn and the other guy. Those are DC writers.
Yeah.
And it's something I forgot
They
what.
give each other hits.
Yeah, I know, and I like them. I like them a lot. The problem is, it's everybody else. Everybody else, they just talk a lot out of their neck, and it's not really sports related accuracy. And I get a problem with that. And I'm like, okay, let me turn the TV. But now that we're in the conversation, and we're actually in the conference championship for the first time. I can't even say that. I can't even say that without going, wow, we made it.
It is a wow time.
You know? And then now we have to play our best A game against the Eagles.
That's what QB said on the news just a little bit ago. I was like, I like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was just looking at Anthony Armstrong. I was just telling you earlier. Anthony Armstrong is now doing a podcast. He was on my show for the very first time after he beaten the Eagles and Dallas in that game when RG3 was there. I don't think it was RG3. I think it was Kirk Cousins. And he was like the primary wide receiver. I know his wife. His wife is a Baltimore Orioles fan, and I wish them nothing but the best. But he literally brought a good point because he was talking about Sean Merriman, who was a linebacker for the San Diego Chargers, who's now the Las Vegas Chargers. And Sean Merriman was also a linebacker for Maryland Terrapins. And when he got drafted, he went directly to the Chargers. Now, on that show, he said, and I quote, "Hey, man, you could play for the Commanders." He was like, "Yeah, I could be a run stopper. They don't need me to be a pass protector. They need a run stopper. That's what they need to stop the run." And I'm like, that's true. And he asked him, do he see us winning? He said, yeah, they have a really good offense and they have a solid defense, but that defense can't stop the run. Then they're going to have a problem. But they could beat the Eagles. So that's my main concern. if the Eagles start running the football with everybody, from fullback to running back to wide receiver to running back, and we can't stop them, then guess what? We're in trouble. They could do an end around. They could do a reverse end around. They could do a will go. They can do a corner route. They can do a bracket route. They can do a comeback route. Will we
Well,
be?
they can do the round around all up their butts. We're going to get them.
Okay, well, that's not the answer I wanted, but I hear you. I agree with you. Our main strength.
I'm putting it this way. I'm not just saying about the defense, but our defensive coach, he's good.
He is good, and I'm just more concerned, and I think he addressed it in this press conference that
Yes, he did.
that what we need to do is be physical sound in our pass protections and our run protections and gap control. I said, does this man
On the
read my?
verge of history. We are on the verge.
I know it, and it feels so surreal, don't it? Oh my God! Okay, so we spend enough time on. We gotta come back to this because we gotta talk about the Wizards. The Wizards, they played the Clippers and lost dramatically. They actually played against the Lakers and lost dramatically. Who did they play tonight? They play none other than the Golden State Warriors, who are trying to draft or trying to trade for Jimmy Butler, who just received a suspension from the Heat. So if Jimmy Butler becomes a Warrior, there's no way that the Lakers are going to win. Even though that the Golden State Warriors right now are 2020, they're 500. If they get Jimmy Butler is going to score a ton of points next to what's his name? Andre Wiggins, Steph Curry, and Draymond. If Wiggins and Jimmy Butler play together, I guarantee you they're going to win their 6th championship in the NBA, and then LeBron is going to be looking like, my gosh, I'm not good enough. I don't think the Lakers got it this year. I think they're struggling more than anything.
I wouldn't think that way. I mean, they still have a chance to make the postseason. I mean, they're not doing that bad. I mean, they're above 500. They're making strides. I wouldn't count them out just yet.
Well, look, I mean, I'm just talking about. I'm not saying that they're not going to go to the playoffs. I'm saying they're not going to go to the finals because.
Oh, probably not.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, they beat the Celtics. I just feel like they're not going to go to the finals. They're going to.
What's wrong with Stephon and the Warriors? Why don't they come out of this?
Well, the problem with that is they have suspended. Are you talking about Jimmy Butler? Yeah, Jimmy Butler. He's not acting right because of the fact that he wants out because the Heat are not treating him well there. They haven't really gotten him another player. He's been doing this all along because he doesn't believe the nucleus he got there is not getting him, or the team is not getting where they need to be, like the Celtics. So he feel like, you know what, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this no more. Get me out of my contract. I'll go elsewhere. And he doesn't like the Heat management either. So he's feeling unwanted. And the community is against him now. They were for him about a month ago. Now they feeling like he's a cancer to the team. So he wants out. Now, if they give him his walking papers and his trade that he was asking for, they'll trade him to the Warriors. They don't want him against the team if he's in here. See, this is what I was talking about for us. If we have somebody that wants out, you don't trade him into the same division. You walk him out the door. You tell him, hey, listen, we'll trade you to the AFC team. We'll see you like every 3 years. No problem. We'll play you. but we're not going to play you every single year in the same division. That'd be crazy. You know, that's like taking.
Stephon always feeds the person that is making the shot.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying too. So, you know, that's what I think. If now, here's the thing: if somehow, some way, and I'm just saying that we get, if the Wizards get him, then we're giving up everything in the book just to get him, and we're still losing. And then he was like, no, I don't want to go to the Wizards because he wants to win. So he's not coming to Washington. He would definitely go to the West. He would either go to the Suns or the Warriors. And then my thing is that my reading has told me that the Warriors are willing to trade for him because they got enough of a talent bench to send to Miami for them to compete against the East on that side. So I would say, yeah, send them to the Warriors because the Warriors, they need an extra body to actually give them that extra W in you know, in games. And you know, Jimmy Butler can give you that. Now at first I thought, you know, maybe Joel Embiid need to be traded from the 76ers. Now he could have went to the West and he could have improved the Warriors too. So if Joel Embiid was a Warrior today, they already a shoo-in for the playoffs. And could they win? Yes, they can win. And he can actually give you that 30 points per game. He can give you that 6 block shots. He can give you that pass defend, you know, shot blocking and pass defend and then rebound all day, every day. He will be the rebound king in the West. And then he could go against you know, that guy in the in Minnesota, who was Judy Gobert. He can go against Judy Gobert.
Wow.
So, what does this mean? That means that we still got players that can impact the West, and the West is strong this year. It's always been strong. The only time that the East hasn't been strong is when we had what's his name, Alonzo Mourning of the Heat.
Oh yeah.
Alonzo Mourning was definitely a beast to be reckoned with on the East side because nobody likes to go to Miami and play because, you know, Alonzo Mourning would definitely cheat. I'm not going to lie. Alonzo Mourning would have this thing when he's in the paint and you're shooting and he would literally stand on his toes and try to block the shot. And I'm like, you dirty playing. I can't say it on air, but that's my whole thing. Yeah, Alonzo Mourning was very, very sneaky. Because you know, you're coming. Okay, you here. I'm gonna say one more thing, and then we're going to the next one. Then we'll come back because we got about 8 minutes. But if you look, I think there was a game. I don't know if it was. I think it was us. And we were playing in Miami, and Alonzo Mourning has stepped up because we were in transition, and he stepped up to the free throw line, and he was, you know, having his arms out, and I'm like, ain't nobody gonna come near you. Why you got your arms out? You're 7 foot, sir. Stop playing with me.
Right.
And they would come, and then he would pass the ball.
My brother is at Virginia Tech against Clemson right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's like having a Manute Bol, right? Put his arms out and saying, yeah, and come, you just come at me. He's like, come at me, bro. Come at me. Ain't nobody coming at you. You're 7'2". Come on, Alonzo, stop. Yeah, like I'm going to come through me. See what happened. Like it's like going against Arnold Schwarzenegger and saying like, go to the basket. Go to the basket. No, nobody can go to the basket. You're there, sir. Sorry. Yeah, go to basket. Go to the basket. I don't normally sound like that, but I'm trying to do my Arnold impersonation. But Alonzo Mourning was very dirty.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that would be a horror. Right. Yeah. That'd be terrible. I would definitely not go play basketball. But no, that was good actually. You know, I'll be back. I can. He goes, I blocked the shot. I'll be back. All right, I'll be back. but that's why I had it. Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Hey, take it to the hole. Take it to the hole. Arnold, calm down. I got to be pumped. I will pump you up. No, stop, Arnold. Stop. I don't know. I think we're doing. I think we're.
I didn't mean to sleep with that nanny and get her pregnant.
Okay. I think we gotta get back. We got 5 minutes. We gotta get back on point. So Maryland Terrapins, they beat Illinois with a score of 90-71, sending them to a great record in the Big Ten. I think Maryland is on fire. I think Maryland has to play against Nebraska next, and I think Nebraska is going to be very, very disappointed that they're not going to get this win. I got Maryland winning this game. Even though Michigan State is 7-0, Maryland looks to be a very, very convincing for the NCAA tournament. I think they're going to be in the Midwest seed, which is not going to be strong enough, but they're going to meet the Final Four. They're going to. I have a feeling they're going to go in the Final Four. I mean, they're really good. All right, moving on because we got 4 minutes. Because I want to make sure we get the score for tomorrow's game at 3 p.m. Check your local listing. We're Ovi is 20 goals away for beating Wayne Gretzky. 20 goals away is insane. Insane. This man is going to do it. I'm going to get his jersey. I'm going to get 5 of those jerseys, and I'm going to wear one out of every year because this man is 100% a juggernaut. I hope he gets it. 20 goals is like 4 games. 4 games is crazy. But we also going to talk about Maryland. Oh, we talk about Maryland. Okay, we got 3 minutes. I think we did all the sports. Baltimore Orioles pitching is now complete.
With Allah.
And as you see, Baltimore Orioles pitching has been complete. I think they have a better pitching rotation than they did last year. And they're going to go – I think they're going to probably be leading this year in a division. And they're going to go to the playoffs this year again. But I will say the hitting might be improved by 1 or 2. But, we'll see what Holiday – is going to do. I think Holiday is going to be 1,000% good. I think he's going to be the X factor. So going back to the Commanders and Eagles, 73 ratio. 7 is confidence, 3 is not. This is what a 7-3 ratio is on the show. So let's start with Lou and end with Big Steve. 73 ratio for the game of the year in this NEMSIS championship. Who you got?
I actually got the Eagles.
What's the score? 7? Okay. Coach.
Washington, we're going to make history.
I believe
It's
it.
going to be 7.
All right. And Big Steve.
I'm not no squishing it. I'm saying
It's going to be a shootout. Commanders. It's going to be 37-34.
Wow. It's going to be in the 30s. Well, I have a better.
I was almost like last year.
30. Yeah.
Well, I have one, and it's going to be by 3. It's going to be 27-30 Commanders. We go and win the NFC Championship division and off to the Super Bowl to play the winner of the Bills and Kansas City Chiefs. I want to thank Lou. I want to thank Coach. I want to thank Big Steve. And I want to thank all of you listening.
Right for all, please.
Okay,
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then the Campbell Soup lady who just woke up from feeling good. Good. I did the advertising. I'm sorry, but she's up and running. I want to thank everybody who's listening on the show. Welcome, come, and thank you for listening. You're human first, everything second, and your conquers by definition is going to conquer your dreams. Have a great weekend.
It's not good to be racist.
Okay, all right. She's absolutely right. She's I don't know. I think she's out of it without the soup. She's nothing. I'm sorry. But anyway, have a great day. Be safe, and God bless. All right, and go Commanders. By the way. All right. Thank you for coming in and entertaining and having a great day and being part of the show. Make sure you come in next Saturday to talk about the win and loss of the Commanders and Eagles NFC Championship. And make sure you call in 512-543-4662. Make sure you say your name for the record and who you represent. And you're everything first and everything second. So you conquer by definition. So go conquer your dream. Go Commanders.